Crosses are too heavy to bear. Pride is dangerous.
Good news. You're getting out. Your grandma. Help.
The lady with that reality TV show?
Welcome to Birdie's Bakes. Cut.
A Lifetime original movie.
Is this some sick marketing ploy?
I'm trying to keep our family name out of the mud.
An all-new Deadly Sin.
Uncle Gabe, lot of light. Good looking. Nose for trouble.
This thing between you and Ella, it's perfect TV.
Pride.
That was amazing.
Inspired by actual events.
Well, when did you become this person?
There's so much pressure. I got caught up in it.
Stephanie Mills.
I've been pumping your ass up all your life.
Kia King.
I am great for ratings.
Thomas Miles.
You too proud to let the world know you got a messed up son.
Erica Campbell.
Don't let pride destroy what destiny has ordained.
Pride. A 7 Deadly Sin story. Premieres Saturday, April 8th at 8. Only on Lifetime.
Please join us in welcoming the stars of Pride, a 7 Deadly Sins story. We have with us today Stephanie Mills, Kia King, Thomas Miles, and Erica Campbell. Thank you all for joining us. We're super excited about this movie, and people have been waiting a year for the next Sin, so thank you for coming. I'm going to throw it open immediately to try to get to as many questions as we can today. And the first question is from Mental Intimacy Magazine. If you would like to unmute and ask your question, that'd be great.
Hi, and thank you for the opportunity for being able to be here today. I am April B. from Mental Intimacy Magazine. And so for the panel, my question is, I know this movie was designated just talking about pride, but I feel like it was more towards forgiveness. How important was it for you in those roles to forgive that individual?
Ooh. That would be a Stephanie question.
I mean, I don't know, Tommy.
I think it was very important. It's very important for me to forgive my son and forgive my granddaughter, because Birdie had so much guilt that she had too much pride to be there for her own daughter. So she poured love into her son, Gabe, and she wanted to pour love into her granddaughter. So it's very important to not let pride stand in the way of loving someone or forgiving them, because we're all human.
Yeah. I think Gabe wants to forgive his mother for things in the past, but I think the most important thing is Gabe wants to be recognized by his mother for once and for all, and he's never been recognized. Feels like he's always been overlooked, and I think that's the joint that they have together. He wants to forgive her, but he wants her to recognize him, for no matter what he is, good or bad.
I love that. And Kia, I know for you specifically, going back to your grandmother and your uncle, how important was forgiveness for you in that part?
I think forgiveness was everything for Ella. She was completely estranged from her grandmother and her uncle, and had so much hatred and anger towards them. And through the course of the film, you see her slowly forgive them and slowly love them. When you watch the film and you see Ella calling Birdie, she doesn't say my grandma, she doesn't say my uncle, she calls them by their names. And then towards the end, eventually she softens and sees that they were just on their own journey, and she learns to love them and forgive them. So it's very complicated for each single character throughout this story.
Well, thank you all. This was a fantastic movie. Tommy, your role was, I didn't ever think I would see you in that type of role before. But it was a great movie, to say the least. And I can't wait to live tweet it when it comes on. Thank you, guys.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you. The next question is from The Motivations with Gloria Taylor. Gloria, if you could unmute your mic.
Is that it? Am I on?
You're on.
Okay. Hi, I'm Gloria Taylor of Gospel Motivations with Gloria. We motivate, we educate, and we inspire here in Eastern North Carolina. And Proverbs 11:2 says, when pride comes, then comes disgrace. But with humility comes wisdom. So how important is it that we have a relationship with God, so we don't allow pride to bring destruction, then God will take his hands off of us. And then it will cause a naughty spirit. I'm sorry, haughty spirit. So how important is that? It's for anyone to answer.
That would be an Erica question.
Exactly.
I knew it.
I'll jump in. I think it's very important. It's crucial to the life of the believer. But what I love about this film and this story is that it's real life, and that we all have a different process with pride, depending on where you come from, what your story is. Each of these characters have a different story. And so they're processing through, and you see it all played out, and they eventually get there, as in real life. Some people get the message quicker. Some people struggle longer. The thing that I love about the God that we serve, no matter what you struggle with, he will struggle with you. I know that church has told us that God throws you away, but I don't understand how you can love me forever and throw me away at the same time, especially if I'm trying. And I think with all the characters, you see them at least trying, even when they don't understand. And, my role is kind of a mediator, an innocent bystander, if you will, coming in to just offer a bit of, pastoral love and influence in a difficult situation. And I think in real life, that's what we do. We struggle with our things, and then we wait on a pastor or a mentor, a counselor, someone to help us through it, because we all need help when dealing with this. So I hope people get compassion. I hope they get forgiveness and love, but I hope they get realness, from watching this film.
Yes. Thank you so much. Thank you, everyone. Great movie.
Thank you.
That answer was for all of us. Thank you.
For everybody.
Again, everyone. Thank you, Tommy.
Thank you. The next question is from Valerie Milano, The Hollywood Times.
Well, it's still morning here in Los Angeles, so I'll say good morning.
Good morning.
It's a three-part question, so just bear with me. Were any of you familiar with the other movies that are a part of the Seven Deadly Sins anthology prior to taking your role?
I had not watched.
Anybody else?
I watched the with Michelle Williams. I watched that one. Yes.
Yeah.
I knew of them, but I had not watched any of them, but I knew of them.
Okay. How much of this film do you think is fact-based? Everybody laughs. Okay.
Yeah. Well, if you look at life, we've seen this story before, right?
Yes.
Yeah.
We've definitely seen the story. We definitely have family members that are all throughout this cast that definitely can reflect to it. So the story is so common in a lot of different households, and definitely in mine and my own. I can definitely see several people in this film that I can point out. That's my cousin. That's my uncle. That's this. That's that. So I think all of us, when they see this film, when this film is viewed, I think people are going to see a replica of their family some way, somehow.
What, in your opinion, do you hope that viewers will take away from the film?
If it's asked to me, I hope people walk away and cherish family a lot more. I hope that they can see that there's some there's some family members that are hurting from so many different things that we really don't know about, that you really haven't looked a lot deeper into that family member. So you know what, there's something bothering them, and you don't know it until it explodes, and that's when it's far too late. And with this role that I'm playing, Gabe, it's far too late. He's in the middle of the explosion, and I think family needs to be able to look at this and reflect and say, let's check our family members and make sure we catch them before the explosion happens.
It's great. That's great.
Thank you all very much. Thank you.
Thank you, everybody. The next question is from 107.9 The Beat.
Good afternoon, everyone. My name is Shayna, And nephew Tommy, we play the Steve Harvey Morning Show on our station every morning. So for you to go to crazy knucklehead in the morning, and in this movie, you was crazy and a knucklehead, but it was on a whole nother level. I appreciate this role and seeing a different side of you, but you were still able to keep your comedian. It was still comedy in a way, you know, your character. But my question goes to Miss Stephanie Mills. In this film, you play a reality star that's the star of the family. And in real life, you are a star. And it wasn't through reality TV, but when you play this role, did you sometimes tap into like things you may have had to go through coming up in stardom with your family? How did you dig into that? Or was there some trauma? Like, oh, I remember when I had to go through this.
I think I pulled from some personal experiences, especially with my family. And I couldn't relate to the reality kind of thing because I don't like reality TV, but I could relate to what was going on personally. Yes, definitely pulling from and Tommy, I have brothers and going through their pride, and I have a son I'm raising. So yes, and I could definitely relate as a mother loving her son so much that she wanted to cover up whatever he was doing. So I could relate to that, definitely.
And I was going to ask, have you ever thought about reality TV? But you already answered that. So.
Oh, no.
Oh, yeah, I did my stint. I did my time.
Okay.
I'm in the middle of one right now, so I'm just going to ride this wave.
Thank you so much for answering my questions, Stephanie, Kenya, Thomas, Erica. It was a beautiful film. I loved it, and I can't wait to watch it again when it premieres on April 8th.
Thank you.
Thank you so much. The next question is from Tashara Jones from the New York Post.
Hi, Erica. Hello, everyone. Good afternoon.
Hello. Hi.
My question is for Erica and Stephanie Mills. Erica Campbell and Stephanie Mills. So I just want to ask, you guys both work in the industry of Hollywood. I want to know, what deadly sins have you maybe run into on a daily basis working in Hollywood and like being a woman of faith?
That's a good question. Probably all of them. I mean, if you keep it real, that our potential to be greedy or lustful or prideful or envious is always present because life is life and we're human. But you have to be so confident within yourself. You have to be centered and grounded that allows you to recognize the difference between being proud of yourself and that pride that leads to selfishness and, you know, by any means necessary and taking things that belong to others. I think we see it all around us. And when you love the music that you sing and you love what you do, then you're able to kind of navigate. Not to say that you never fall to any of these, because we do. But, you know, I'm a believer. So I thank God for forgiveness, you know, and his grace and mercy that every time I fall, I can get back up and just keep going. And what I love about this movie is the lessons that you learn. You'll see reflections of yourself or people that you know, and you learn those lessons and you just keep going.
Okay, thank you, Erica. What about you, Ms. Mills?
You know, she answered it so well. And I grew up in this industry. I've done nothing but this industry, and you do have pitfalls and things that but I've never been a follower. So I always held on to God, and my mother was around, and I just so glad that I never got into drugs. Not to say that it wasn't around me, but I've never been a follower.
You were to say drugs. You never know drugs.
No alcohol, no, none of that. No, never.
All right. But was there one sin that maybe stands out more than the other?
No.
No? Okay. All right. What about you, Erica? Is there one sin that stands out more than the other?
No, I mean, the subject is pride. Right. And I think there is a sliver of pride that everybody deals with. Like I was saying before, you can be proud of yourself, but it can get to a place where it's not just about you. It's not about what's mine. It's about taking your stuff too. And that's when pride takes it a little bit too far. And you see it manifest in different ways in this film. And I can't wait for people to see it, but I really hope they get the message more than anything.
Yes.
Okay. Thank you so much, ladies. Appreciate
You're welcome. Thank you.
Thank you so much. The next question is from Chris Gunther. Chris, if you can unmute your line.
Got it. Hey, guys, first of all, thank you for taking the time out. It's always a privilege. And my question is for Stephanie Mills. you've done so much in your career. How have you managed to make sure that you don't become prideful of anything? Because legends sometimes can be very prideful.
First of all, I don't consider myself a legend. I consider myself someone that loves to sing and do what I do. And I took breaks from the industry. I think if you don't take breaks, you'll crash and burn. So I took break when I had my son and when I didn't want to be in the business so much anymore. So me taking breaks and living a regular life, I go to the post office, I go to the grocery store. I didn't buy into any of that Hollywood life at all. At all. I didn't. I was afraid of it. I didn't want to get caught up or get caught out there. So I always kind of maintained just a normal kind of life. Because you don't ride in limousines every day. You don't get drive to the back of the plane or every day. I just like doing regular things.
Appreciate that. Thank you so much. And Erica, it's great to see you. I remember I interviewed you back when I was in college, so this is kind of cool. Thank you so much.
Absolutely cool. Yeah, I remember your name. Good to hear your voice again.
Always a pleasure. You guys take care.
You too.
Okay, thank you.
Thank you, Chris. This was an emailed question. This one's for Kia. What was it like playing opposite Stephanie, Erica, and Thomas?
Wow, getting to work off of Miss Stephanie Mills, Erica, and Tommy was, woo, I had to come ready every single day. Because I did not know what they were going to throw at me. Tommy is a powerhouse. Not only is he so grounded in his work, but he has this really cool way of bringing in humor, and he captivated everyone. And then Miss Stephanie is just such a pleasure to watch because she brings such tenacity and so much intensity. And then working with Erica just felt like, even though she's playing a pastor, it was such a spiritual experience. Yes. There was a day where Stephanie and Erica were singing, and I honestly felt the love and warmth and God with us in the room. So it was just, I learned so much working with all of them.
Oh, thank you, Kia.
Yeah.
Thank you.
Oh.
Thank you. The next question is from Endless Report.
Hi guys, my name is Nikki with the Endless Report, and my question is for Thomas.
Yes.
Gabe's character is very complex, both as being Birdie's son and a thriving opportunist. What challenges did you face coming into those roles?
Trying to balance it by being this lovable son, but at the same time, there's this conniving spirit he has of trying to win. No matter what, at the end, we got to win. And so trying to balance it and sell both of that at the same time so you can see that lovable side as a son, but I also, as a viewer, I want you to see what I'm up to at the same time. So it's a bit of a challenge, but I think I did decent trying to pull it off.
Well, thank you. You did a wonderful job, and it was a great film.
Thank you.
Thank you. We had an email question for Stephanie.
Mm-hmm.
How was it stepping into your first leading role?
Scary. It was very scary. I just turned 66, so I was like, Lord, let me remember these lines. But Tommy helped me. Tommy helped me, and Kia helped me. I'm telling you, I was afraid, but I just gave it to God. I said, God, you got this, and flew to Vancouver.
Did great.
That's awesome. Thank you.
You're welcome.
The next question is from Lavetta Jenkins. Lavetta? All right,
I'm sorry.
There we go.
I was going mute. Sorry about that. Hello, everyone. I'm Lavetta Jenkins of chattypassenger.com. I also work for an affiliate station with Nephew Tommy. I'm what they call the local co-host of the Steve Harvey Morning Show. And I listen to you because I'm working every single day. And I wanted to know, because I've been here through Eugene and, everybody, every other personality that you have. And I've seen you in the play Mama's Boy. I went into watching this thinking you were going to be Nephew Tommy, and you showed up as Thomas Miles like I'd never seen you before.
Absolutely.
What kind of a stretch was this for you? And I would like to ask that of Ms. Mills and Ms. Campbell and even Kia. What type of stretch was this for you to play a character that you're not so much seen as?
You know what? I've played it before. I think that everyone is just so used to seeing that you're hearing what I do on the radio, and you're hearing, and you may see me do a lot of stand-up or the TV show, which I'm hosting, the dating show, and you just don't see the drama. But far before I was even on the radio, Eric and I, we were on tour for years together, and I was always the villain. I was always the serious guy. I was always the heavy in the show. So I gotten so far away from it that I was like, oh my God, when am I going to get to circle back and do it again? And this was just a great opportunity to come back and show people, let me show you what I don't think you've seen yet. And that was just a great opportunity.
I've been waiting for the serious guy, because I know that guy. I love the comedian, but I love you as a serious actor. It's so passionate and so authentic and a little scary, but it's perfect for this character.
Thank you.
It was. I did find that a little scary as well sometimes.
Right?
To see him just kind of turn on a dime and flip and be so malicious. That was new to me. Ms. Mills, how was it for you playing someone's mother who really kind of was, smoothing over what her son was doing and almost acting like he wasn't really kind of bad seeding it out here?
Well, I have a son that's 22, and he cons me every day, all the time. But it wasn't too far from me as far as the mother, but I've never been prideful. I'm a person that will say I'm sorry if I hurt your feelings or something like that. So I've never been prideful. So that was different for me. To be mean to my son was different. I've never really yelled at my son. I've never even said no to him. And I know that sounds crazy, but to be mean to Tommy was hard because he's so sweet.
And your son is amazing.
Thank you.
I can also see how Farad would get over on you with certain things.
He gets over on me all the time. I swear he does.
Thank you all so much for answering my question.
Thank you.
Thank you. The next question is from Visions TV Online.
Hey guys, my name is Andrew from Visions TV Online. Thank you for the opportunity. I'm all the way from the UK and I very much enjoyed the film. Thank you guys for having me online today. So my question is for you today is, what challenges did you have when preparing for your roles? So that's just a straight question for everybody. So who would like to go first?
Who's first?
I'll go first just to get out of the way because I can't believe I'm going to admit this. But the biggest challenge for me actually was cooking. I can't cook, but Ella is a baker, a really beautiful, exquisite baker because that runs in the family. Bertie runs a bakery. So everybody just knows how to bake and cook. And I actually had to do a little preparing beforehand. So that was actually one of the challenges for me is just, how do I bake a cake? So at home, I got some eggs. I made like a little bitty crocker thing. And that was one of my challenges.
Thank you. Thank you very much.
Well, I didn't have that much preparing to do because I'm a first lady of a church. So I understand kind of getting in the messes and the difficult stuff in families. But I wanted it to still feel authentic to their situation and what they were dealing with and how I would really respond, with those kind of personalities. And so, hopefully I did my part justice, but it was wonderful to play that part with them. It was really intense, but powerful.
Yes,
Amazing.
you did a great job. I think the most thing is I don't bake either. So I'm not a cook. So that was a challenge for me. And just remembering my lines. That was just remembering what I'm doing. But then after I got there, it became so organic. It just flowed, and working with Kia and Erica and Tommy just made it so wonderful. Yeah, it was a wonderful experience.
I think my biggest challenge is I'm a perfectionist, so I want to nail it every single time.
Mm-hmm.
If I don't nail it, then I want to do it again and do it again. I want you to give me so many takes that until I get it. If it was up to me, we'd still be in Vancouver shooting. Seriously, we'd still be there. Because I keep thinking, just give me one more, just give me one more. And that's just always a big challenge for me, is trying to perfect it and get it right. And then lastly, I don't know, I felt like I was fat. I felt like I needed to drop 10 something.
Oh, Tom.
Really?
Like
really?
Yeah.
Really?
Well,
my kids will tell me the truth. Wait till this comes out.
Your kids always will.
That's true.
Well, thank you very much for the opportunity. Erica, I remember meeting you at Donna McKirkin's 60th birthday. You flew me over from London to his 60th. Great opportunity to see you, and hopefully we get to have you on Visions TV Online once again.
Let's do it.
Amen. All right, God bless you all. Take care.
Thank you.
Thank you.
The next question is from Nye McGee with EUR Web. Nye, if you could unmute your...
I am here. Thank you so much. My question is for Ms. Stephanie Mills. With you mentioning moments ago that this is your first feature film, major leading role, I'm wondering if you wouldn't mind sharing with us, how does this project speak to the Stephanie Mills brand and the legacy you hope to leave behind?
Well, this movie talks about pride. And in our community, we have a lot of pride in the families. And I just hope that they get the message that being prideful is so dangerous. It's so, you got to be able to say, I'm sorry, I love you, and not be too, because some families don't talk because they're prideful. They don't talk for 5 and 10 years. So I think that this message, I was so happy to read the script, and it was so well written. And to play along with nephew and Ella and Kenya and Erica, it was just wonderful. It was just so much love. Even Erica was just there for a day, but it was so much love, and it was just wonderful.
Wonderful. Thank you so much.
You're welcome.
Thank you so much. The next question is from Visions TV Online.
We'll just talk to him.
Visions TV Online, if you could unmute your mic. All right, we'll go on to Dreamspire TV, Renata Brown.
Good afternoon. I'm so excited to be here. I think it's Erica. We met you, Day. I met you as well at B103 in Atlanta.
Well, hello
you
there.
And your sister. Hello. So this book is a part of a 7-part series. Have you read any of the underlying books in this series? And also, have you guys worked together before?
I'm here.
We're hearing.
Another conversation.
Yeah.
Well, I'll start. I have not read the books. I have worked with Thomas before. We were in stage plays and traveled on the road for a few years. And that was fun. I just met Kia, and I've loved Miss Stephanie, and I know her. This is our first time working together, and it was such a joy to work with them on this film. I was only there for a day, but it was absolutely amazing. The crew, the directors, everybody was so kind. It was really great to be a part and to play a pastor, which I'm a first lady of a church, so it wasn't that much of a stretch for me.
Great. Thank you very much. The next question is from Terry Shropshire.
Yes, good afternoon. Terry with Rolling Out. I wanted to know, Stephanie, Miss Mills, as well as the rest of you. You played a character that is so diametrically opposed to your public persona as a superstar with a heavenly voice. I mean, that voice is just uncanny. And I wanted to know, how much fun it was for you and for the rest of you to play a character that's the opposite of who you really are, and how much enjoyment and gratification you got from the experience, as well as being able to, I guess, simultaneously teach a lesson about, you know, this pride thing will take you down and take other people with you.
It was wonderful for me to do a role that I wasn't singing. I was really happy to do that because I wanted to do some acting, and I'm dramatic anyway in my own life. So I was wonderful for me to play a character that I wasn't singing. And the message is so powerful. That's what really drew me to the character, and the script was written so well.
Okay, if I can hear from the rest of you, starting with Tommy, please.
From me?
Yeah.
Okay. It was good for me because, you know, you know me as a comedian, you know me as jokes and prank phone calls and all that kind of stuff. So to be able to come and do something completely different that the audience hasn't really seen, it just felt good to be able to do that, and then to bring the message of this is a guy that you don't want to be. You know, sometimes somebody's got to be, you know, the antagonist. So somebody's got to be the villain, and just to show you that this is where life has gone wrong. This is the wrong turn. And you know, my job is to sell it and sell it good enough to where you if you know somebody that's living this life, you may be able to pull them back and dial them back and say, hey man, let's talk about it. So and I hope we delivered that.
You almost played it too well. I mean, you with your character or something. But Erica, I know that you played the same role. I mean, not the same role, but a similar role, or a role that we can identify with. But it's still going to be a lot of fun to do that.
Absolutely. You know, anytime you are getting in the difficult stuff in people's lives, it's always a challenge. And so to be able to be a part, like Stephanie was saying, the script was very well written. So it's kind of easy to just kind of jump in there. But I wanted it to feel authentic, like a real situation would. Like imagine being in the hospital and you're getting this news and, you know, I mean, there's all these emotions flying. And then I have to kind of come in and be kind of a mediator, you know, and bring some sense of understanding. That's not always easy, even though I'm a first lady in real life. I don't like that in real life. So it was a challenging spot to be in, but a joy to play for sure.
Yes, if you
Kia.
Yeah, Kia.
Yeah. Like honestly, this role there was actually no joy for me, just because her journey is she's estranged to her grandmother. It's not fun. It's awful. It feels, I'm in my day-to-day life, I love my family. I love my grandmother. So this was a very challenging role to play, but getting to work alongside everybody was such a pleasure. So that's where the joy was, but not in the actual part. Every day coming to set, the character Ella has a lot of grief, a lot of sadness, a lot of hurt. So when you're an actor playing that, you have to sit in it. Right. So the joy doesn't exist at the same time when there is pain. So yeah, you know, the joy was working with everybody.
Well, your role was riveting, Kia. So congratulations to you and to the rest of the cast.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you so much. We have about 10 more minutes. I'm going to try to get to as many questions as we can. Thank you for your patience. The next question is from Upfront with Ray Cornelius. If you could mute your mic.
Hey there, happy Tuesday to everyone. Amazing film, and I'm gonna admit I was a little convicted after watching it. There's some things going on with my family that I was like, wow, this is too real here. But wanted to talk about the script, and what was it that when you all received the script that made you say, yes, I want to do this role? Was there a favorite moment on set that you all can recall?
I think that for me, when I read the script, very rarely do we get to see older women exist on screen. I feel like a lot of times we just see young people or teen shows. And so what I was really excited about for this script is getting to see an older woman take up space. Birdie's character is absolutely beautiful and just so warm and moving. And it's beautifully played by Stephanie. So being a part of that was just exciting for me.
I'll say when you get a call and says Bishop Jakes is doing something, you just say, okay. John Robinson and Dan Williams and all these people, and they call for you, you go, of course. So it was a pretty easy yes for me.
It was easy for me after reading the script and just seeing the role and how many layers this particular character had that I tried to pull back and you know, that's always the part with an actor. You want to find something that's gritty, something that's got layers, something that's got a lot of colors to it. And I think Gabe's role had a lot of that. I tried to make some choices that were not going to be something normal that you would see all the time. And so I gravitated to it. I thought it would just be a challenge for me as an actor.
And I loved reading it. I loved the characters. And I loved that I wasn't singing, that I was just purely organically acting in this role and being a mother and showing what pride does to a family if it's not addressed.
I know you say you don't want to sing, but if they were to do a Pride musical version of this, would you all reprise your roles? Because when you were singing in the hospital, I was like, okay, we need a musical version.
See, now you get me out of the movie now, because I don't.
No, we couldn't do that. We couldn't do that.
Thank you so much.
Absolutely.
Thank you.
Thank you so much. The next question is from Partice Smith with New Light Media.
Thank you. Hi, guys. I'm enjoying your answers and your response and the energy. And I had a chance to take a look at the movie, and it's so many messages in the movie. But one of the things that I want to ask you guys, when nephew Tom, I don't call you nephew Tom, Mr. Thomas Miles, when you were addressing your mom, it was obvious, and you said it earlier, that she never noticed you. And my question to you, Ms. Mills, was it purposefully that you didn't notice your son in the movie because he was troubled, and that was your pride getting in a way where you didn't want to notice him?
No, I loved my son. I was so busy building the business, and I was giving him material things, but I wasn't giving him myself.
Mm-hmm.
And that's what Birdie realized. But I loved my son. I would have done anything for him, but I was so busy building the business and building security for our family.
So the gifts is not what you wanted as your character, Mr. Miles. That what you wanted was the actual love. And I think when she started showing your niece the love, that's when you really got into feeling rejected by your mom.
Yeah, I wanted my mother to be more connected to me. You know, you can give. Listen, I have 3 children.
Mm-hmm.
You can give them everything, and that's actually been the problem here with us that have children that are teenagers and in their 20s. We've given them everything,
yes,
and we've spoiled them to death. And sometimes we cover up what's really wrong with them. You know, that's the way we put a Band-Aid on it. That's the way we handle the situation, in opposed to the way, you know, when I was growing up, my father handled me completely differently. And I love him now for that, for the way he brought me up. Oh my God, I love him for it. But my daddy gave me him. I got all of him. I got him every day in the summer. He took me to work with him. I got my daddy every day. And that's what Gabe wanted from his mom. I want you. I want us. And you weren't giving me that. So you can give me the cards, you can come bail me out of jail, keep me out of trouble, but you're never giving me you. You keep putting a Band-Aid on my problem, and my problem is you. I need you to give me you. And that's the hang up.
Yes.
Good.
Thank you. I can't wait for everyone to see it. And I hope all the lessons that this movie shows in Pride definitely helps heal the family, because of course we need it. So thank you for agreeing to play this movie. I think everybody's going to be interested in seeing you in a different light, Miss Stephanie Mills. So I'm looking forward to this. Thank you so much for your time today.
Thank you.
Thank you. We're down to our last 2 questions. Krista Chain from TV Megasite. Krista, you can unmute your mic.
Krista?
I'm sorry, did you say Krista G?
Krista Chain from TV Megasite.
Okay.
All right. right. I don't think Krista's there, so we can move on. So Unique Magazine. So Unique Magazine. Unmute your mic. All right, I don't see So Unique. Tori Talk with Tori Langley.
I am here. Do not skip me. I would like to say hello from the nation's capital. Tori Langley of my podcast of the same name, Tori Talk with Tori Langley. I, as a person who did watch all of the Lifetime Sins, excellent job from all of you. It was super good to watch. I think we all know that there has a tinge of reality because this is the one that is a true story. But for me, my question to the cast, for all of you, is this is a story of a Black family at the core. This is what this is about. How do you want everyone at home to take this story of the Black family? How do you want us to say, hey, this is not your story, but this is still about a Black family, so you can relate?
Well, I often tell people before God made a church, he made a family. And so family is crucial and important. The health of a city is based on the families that are there, even if your family looks a little bit different. So paying attention to your family is everything. And in a world like today, pride is kind of front and center because everyone's trying to achieve and be and do, even if it's for the right reason. Sometimes the way they go about it is wrong. So I hope that this film makes people pay attention to their families, to their children, to their spouses, to their loved ones, to their grandparents, aunts and uncles, all of it, just so our families can heal. And I think when our families can heal, we can recognize things like pride in a loving way, but allow us to grow and overcome it.
I think this is a jump start for families to have that conversation that we've never had, and addressing the elephant in the room that's been in that room for decades, and we just tried to avoid it. And now we pass by that elephant every day. Yes. We try not to see it. We know exactly what an elephant is. We don't look at it. But I think this film is something that will get the conversation started with, maybe people in the Black family will start saying, you know what, let's talk about it. We've been ignoring it for years and years. Let's get it out there in the open. We don't want to fight about it. We just want to talk about it. And maybe talking about it will start the healing process.
Perfect. Thank you guys so much. As a person with a family business of my own, Lord, I understand the struggles. So thank you all so much. I'm super excited for everyone to see it. And I hope you guys enjoy the rest of your afternoon. For me, morning for you.
Thank you so much. This is our last question. It's from Krista Chain with TV Megasite. Krista, if you could unmute your mic.
Hi, thanks for taking the time to answer questions today.
Absolutely.
My question is, what is one thing that you learned from the movie or from playing your character that you can take with you and apply to your own life?
To never be prideful, never be too prideful not to say I'm sorry or think you're above anybody or anything like that. That's the one lesson, having pride is destructive.
I think what I've taken away is pay attention to my children. Pay very, very close attention to them, and let's make sure pride doesn't get in the way, and let me try to stop that and nip it in the bud.
Erica or Kia?
I would say that you can overcome pride and prideful issues. You can overcome. You don't have to be that way forever.
True.
I would also add that to just love your family and to talk about things. We don't talk a lot. We're too busy going about our day sometimes. Check in with your family members, see how they're doing. It takes 10 minutes at the top of the morning to check in with people.